So, und damit willkommen zurück zu Hercule Poirot. Ja, wir
finished with this subject.
Was?
Royal Mathematical and Statistical Society's Bulletin, September the 9th, 1935. The Alphabet Murder, a methodical madman. It's highly probable that the alphabet murderer will kill again. Could we possibly estimate the number of victims in his next crime? Yes, and it is easy. As soon as we know the ratio of towns, cities and villages whose names begin with a D and the ratio of English people whose names are spelled the same.
Okay.
On the one hand, the ratio of towns, cities and villages in England with a name starting with D, and on the other hand, the ratio of English people with a name also starting with D. After this initial calculation, it is easy to deduce the likelihood of actually being murdered if you belong to the target population. Go to the last page to find our results and details on the calculations.
Dankeschön.
Daily Blag, August 31, 1935. Moustache at half-mast. Poirot's repeated failure in ABC case. Sometimes small things trouble great men. Hastings, faithful collaborator of the Belgian detective, knows something about it. 3 mornings in a row, he confided to us, the cook broke the egg yolks when preparing Poirot's breakfast. This apparently casual event has greatly disturbed my friend, to the point it breaks his concentration and slows his judgment. I also noticed his mustache, of which he is so proud, being duller than usual.
Poirot, I assure you I haven't said any such thing to the journalists. They twist everything.
Okay. Jetzt wissen wir wahrscheinlich, warum Hastings so nervös ist. Oh.
I've finished with...
So, how are you getting on? I need to take notes.
So, machen wir das denn jetzt hier mit dem komischen Zeugs?
I lock my revolver in this drawer. I've not used...
Stimmt, Poirot war ja früher mal
It is not the right time.
Detektiv oder Kommissar in Brüssel. Ist dann aber im Ersten Weltkrieg vor den Deutschen geflohen. Wann mache ich das denn jetzt hier? Das komische Zeugs. Ach so, ich muss mich auf den Stuhl setzen. Ach so.
Ah, some cool hair.
Some cool hair.
I do not need to...
Telefonieren muss er jetzt gerade nicht. Das haben wir. Was haben wir denn als Ziele jetzt? Verbrannte Dokumente entschlüsseln. Ach, einfach Doppelklick drauf.
If someone has tried to get rid of these documents, they may be important.
Jetzt müssen wir wahrscheinlich erstmal ein bisschen puzzeln. Ich bin mir sicher, dass dies das Zweck des Mörders war. Der Inhalt ist wesentlich für die Ermittlungen. Okay. Ja, okay, habe ich mir angeschaut. Und jetzt? Verdächtige, das ist uns gerade egal. Wo ist das denn jetzt, was ich machen muss?
Hastings' photo album. He is very proud of his bag.
Der ABC-Fahrplan. Churston.
Churston, Devon, Population 500 inhabitants. Hourly of trains. London Churston. Trains of evening. London 6:45 p.m. Newton about 11 a.m. Churston 11:45 a.m. London 11:45 p.m. Newton about 6:08 a.m.
6:08.
Churston 7:15 a.m.
Ist hier irgendwo was am Tisch machen? Was soll ich jetzt machen? Gib mal ein Indiz her.
Now, down to work.
Am Spiegel mache ich das.
All of this needs putting in order a little. I think that this is right. This page is finished. That's done. 3 more to go.
Sind das nur die oder kann ich theoretisch... brauchen wir einen Text.
This does not look too difficult.
Okay, das passt. Ne, drehen kann ich die nicht, okay. Gehst du dahin. Dann du gehst dann... Na, komm her.
I
Dahin.
think that this is right.
So, du kommst dann dahin. Und du...
This page is finished.
Okay.
And that's 2 done. It's easier than I thought.
So, dann haben wir das Stück. Okay, wenn es richtig ist, dann rastet es ein.
This page will be reconstructed in a flash.
Ja, genau. In der Flasche ist das reconstructed.
This page is finished.
So, und die letzte.
Only 1 more. Keep going.
Courage. So, warte mal. Das ist ein bisschen schwer,
Does not look.
schwierig anzuklicken.
It's so simple.
Das passt. Dann passt das da. Nicht so. Und du da oben drauf.
This page is finished.
Das war jetzt nicht allzu schwer.
All the pages are reconstructed.
So, jetzt schön zusammenkleben.
The cloth is now soaked with solvent.
So, und jetzt müssen wir den Lappen nehmen. Das damit vorsichtig einpinseln.
Got it! Make a note, Hastings, make a note. Mrs. Alice Asher, shop owner in Andover. Tracheitis, hemoptysis, prescribed laudanum.
I got it. Look. Poirot, where on earth did you find these files?
On a fire at the bottom of the garden at Comside.
Ah, dann...
All right, but where did the person who burned them find them?
Das ist ganz klar, wo er die gefunden hat. Der hat die, bei dem Sir Carl Michael Clark, der ja Halsspezialist war, hat er die Akten
Alice
rausgenommen.
Asher, shopkeeper in Andover.
Und dann hat er die...
Tracheitis.
Was haben wir gehabt?
Betty Barnard, waitress in Bexhill.
Chronisch.
Chronic bronchitis, causing dysphonia. Advised to stop smoking. Alexander Bonaparte Cust. While wounded, mustard gas and head trauma. Pulmonary emphysema. Hemoptysis. Coughing fits with blood. Suffers from absences and amnesia. Dick Dudley Dunbar, owner of the Black Swan Hotel in Doncaster. Asthmatic,
Damit
heart
wissen wir, wer das
disease,
nächste
heart
Opfer ist.
condition. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
Dann wissen wir, wer das nächste Opfer ist. Wer stammen die verbrannten Dokumente? Es steht Mrs. Ashers Name. Dass alle Opfer hatten Halsbeschwerden. Und die Akten wurden kürzlich gelesen. Cortex.
The burned documents are medical records, and without a doubt they come from Clark's archives. First of all, because all the patients have throat conditions. And secondly, their name starts with either A, B, C or D, and it is precisely the files that match these letters that have been tampered with.
But why burn these files? How come the names of the 2 victims appear on them? And who are the 2 other patients?
These are very good questions.
Wir gehen ans Telefon.
I've finished with this.
Hello, Poirot?
Any news, Chief Inspector?
You wanted a stocking seller? We have one. Reported by his landlady, who thought he was behaving suspiciously. He has the most unbelievable name.
Alexander Bonaparte Cust.
Yes, Alexander Bonaparte Cust? How did you guess? Poirot, you have magical powers. It's a serious lead. I called Doncaster. A person matching Cust's description has been seen at the station. He got off the train from London, but after that, nobody knows where he went.
Ganz donnern, eine Ginger Cat angeben.
Look for him at the Black Swan Hotel.
What? How do you know he's there?
Trust me, Chief Inspector.
You appear to be very sure of yourself. Very well. I'll call the Black Swan straight away. The owner is going to get a shock when he learns that there's a murderer under his roof.
Do your best, Jap.
You can count on me.
Hastings, everything is at stake. With a little luck, our main suspect will soon be under lock and key.
Und nochmal das Telefon.
So has Cust been arrested?
Yes, the Doncaster police are sending him by train.
That is good news. But why so gloomy, Chief Inspector?
Well, when I told the hotel owner that he was sheltering a murderer, he collapsed.
He's dead?
No, fortunately, but it has taken its toll on him. It has to be said that with his name starting with the letter D, he had every reason to fear Cust. I bet he was going to be the next victim.
Come now, Chief Inspector. He's at the hospital and the doctors are taking good care of him.
You think so?
Of course. Do not feel down, Chief Inspector. Let us focus on our investigation.
While we're waiting to question Cust, we could search his room in London.
Where does he live?
The Marbury Guest House?
I'll see you there.
Yes, but start without me. First of all, I have to sort out a few details for Cust's transfer.
I understand. À bientôt.
A bientôt. Bis gleich.
Hastings, we are making good progress. Please go and search the room of our #1 suspect.
With pleasure. I did have a dentist appointment, but I'll cancel.
The dentist. So that is why you were so nervous and bad-tempered.
A visit to the dentist is never an enjoyable prospect.
But an unavoidable one. Go to your appointment, Hastings. I will manage on my own.
Ja, die schönen Besuche beim Zahnarzt sind sehr schön. Ich hatte früher auch immer panische Angst vorm Zahnarzt.
To Marbury Guest House, please.
Aber das hat sich Gott sei Dank geändert. Das ist bei möglich, wenn der Zahnarzt guckt rein. Ich warte quasi 10 Minuten im Badezimmer. Komme ich rein. Und nach einer Minute bin ich wieder raus. Schnauzbart. Shen hatte auch ein tolles Erlebnis beim Zahnarzt, letztes Mal in Berlin. Was tun die denn darum? Schnauzbart.
How do you do? You must be Mr. Hercule Poirot. Chief Inspector Jupp told me that you might be coming.
Die schält Kartoffeln.
Madame, you may be of valuable help to me.
It would be my pleasure to help you. Will there be some journalists there as well?
I think you might even be interviewed. You are key witness.
I've suspected him for some time, but he appeared so harmless. Oh yes, sometimes he got angry and waved his arms about. But even then, he wasn't frightening. And he was as gentle as a lamb again immediately afterwards. It was only this morning that I understood. He told me he was going to Cheltenham, but my daughter saw him at Euston Station. It's not the right station. To get to Cheltenham, you have to take the train from Paddington. And what's more, Mr. Cuss left behind an ABC with Doncaster underlined. As you can imagine, when I saw that, I called Scotland Yard.
Well done. You were right. He did go to Doncaster.
So I was right to warn the police.
Tell me, did you have any other reason to suspect Mr. Cust?
Well, he's odd. Sometimes he coughs really loudly and complains that his throat is burning, and sometimes he talks to himself and stares into space. He told me that it was because of a wound he got in the war. His head hasn't been quite right since, he said. And then he was in Churston when that millionaire got murdered. I found his train ticket when I washed his coat. He didn't want me to wash his shirt. He washed it himself. But I did see big brown stains on it.
Do you think it was blood?
Well, when I saw them, I thought, look, he spilled his wine or his soup all over himself. But now that I think about it, well, they did look like blood.
Cust used to travel for his work. Is that correct?
Oh, it wasn't for pleasure. He was always unwell on trains. But he had to sell his stockings around England. I have to respect my engagements, he used to say.
Do you know where Cust was at the time of the murder in Andover and Bexhill? On June the 21st and July the 25th?
No, I don't know. That was a while ago, you know.
But surely you keep a register.
It won't do you much good. Mr. Cuss rents his room for the year. If he goes away for a few days, I have no reason to make a note of it. Ah! I remember one thing. Bexhill's by the sea, right?
Indeed. It is a large seaside resort.
Well, as it happens, at the start of July, Mr. Cust asked me to repair his bathing dress. Suspicious, huh?
Very interesting. Please continue.
I also forgot to say that he started buying newspapers that talked about the case.
Fragen, ab wann die Zeitung gekauft hat.
When did he start buying the newspapers?
Let's see. I think it was just after the millionaire's murder in Churston. He didn't seem all that interested before that.
That will be all for now. I'm going to take a look at his room.
Take the key on the counter. I don't think my register will help you. Mr. Cust...
Achso, ja, das haben wir, dass es jährlich mietet.
The truth is becoming apparent, and I have something to say to Mrs. Marbury.
Steck den Schlüssel
I
ein.
have something to say to...
Achso, der muss ja noch was sagen. Ja, gut, komm. Dann sag ja noch was. Kann ich den beobachten? Ja.
This woman appears to be in a good mood.
Lächeln.
Mrs. Marbury is in a good mood. She's working very precisely in producing incredibly thin peel.
Dünne Schalen, das heißt, es hat wenig Verschnitt in den Kartoffeln.
Mrs. Marbury, if I am to believe the register, you rented room 306 to a certain Mr. Fishman on the day of the Bexhill murder? Room 306 is Cust's room. Can you explain yourself?
Yes, I remember. Just for one night as a favor. Mr. Cust was away, all my other rooms were taken, and poor Mr. Fishman had nowhere to go.
It doesn't matter, provided that you remembered to change the sheets.
Oh, do you think so?
So. Zimmer 306. Gut, dann mache ich jetzt auch den Schnitt und dann durchsuchen wir im nächsten Part das Zimmer von Monsieur Cust. Bis dahin, tschüss.